Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to say is going to sting, but it's the truth you've been running from. Right now, most people are living in chains they cannot even see, invisible shackles that tie them down to a life they never chose, but accepted. They wake up tired, they chase a paycheck that barely covers survival, they scroll endlessly to numb their mind, and they go to sleep knowing deep inside they are wasting their existence, and the scariest part, they've convinced themselves this is normal, but let me remind you, life was never meant to be a prison. You were not born to be a slave to bills, routines, and approval from people who don't care about you. You were born with fire, with hunger, with a spirit that craves freedom, yet here you are, settling for mediocrity, bowing to comfort, locked in cages you've built with your own excuses. This is the moment to wake up. This is the time to lock in, to cut off the distractions, to choose freedom over slavery. Because if you don't, your dreams will rot inside you, and your life will end as a cautionary tale. Discipline is not something you practice only when life feels convenient. It is the foundation that separates those who rise from those who remain trapped. Every man and woman who has ever broken free from the cycle of mediocrity had to pay the price of discipline. Without it, you are a prisoner to your impulses, a slave to every distraction that comes your way. You may think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want, but that kind of freedom only leads to chaos and regret. True freedom comes from having control over yourself, mastering your desires, and commanding your mind to obey your vision. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you build strength. Every time you resist the easy path, you lay another brick toward the life you deserve. Without this, you remain in chains, no matter how much money or time you think you have. When you strip life down to its rawest form, discipline is what determines whether you're steering the ship or simply drifting wherever the wind blows. People complain about not having control, yet they refuse to master their daily choices. They say they want success, but they hit snooze, they binge entertainment, they skip workouts, they waste hours in meaningless conversations. That is not freedom, that is weakness disguised as lifestyle. Discipline is the master key that unlocks doors most people will never see, because the majority cannot endure the cost of self-control. You have to reprogram your brain to reject the soft life and embrace the path that hurts in the moment but heals in the future. The gym, the grind, the sacrifice. These are the tools that sharpen the blade of your soul, and without them, your dreams remain nothing more than fantasies. Look at the patterns of history, and you'll find that the people who built empires, conquered fears, and changed the world were bound by strict codes of discipline. They weren't lucky. They weren't waiting for motivation to appear. They locked in on habits so relentlessly that their actions became non-negotiable, like breathing or eating. That is what real freedom looks like. The power to dictate your future through sheer consistency. Think about the chains of modern slavery: debt, wasted potential, addictions, and laziness. None of these can survive in the presence of discipline. When you master yourself, you no longer need anyone else to validate your worth, and you no longer live as a servant to the system that feeds off your weakness. The illusion of freedom that society sells you is dangerous, because it tells you that chasing comfort is the same as living free. But comfort is the silent killer of potential. Discipline is what cuts through that lie, because it teaches you that doing what's hard today gives you the luxury to do what you want tomorrow. Think about it. Every successful person is living a reality that most will never taste, not because they are smarter, but because they were disciplined when everyone else was distracted. If you want freedom from worry, freedom from poverty, freedom from mediocrity, you must forge it through disciplined effort every single day. Your discipline becomes your shield against failure, your sword against weakness, and your map out of the mental prison that society calls normal life. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you every morning when you don't want to get out of bed, every night when you choose the couch over the grind, every moment when you settle for what is easy instead of what is necessary. Comfort disguises itself as safety, as peace, as happiness, but in truth, it is the enemy that robs you of growth and chains you to mediocrity. Every great achievement in history was born in discomfort. No warrior was forged in luxury, no empire was built in softness, no leader was molded in ease. The very act of choosing discomfort is what separates those who will be remembered from those who will vanish without a trace. Comfort may feel good for a moment, but it poisons your long-term future. When you choose it day after day, regret builds silently, and one day you wake up realizing you wasted everything. Discomfort is not punishment, it is transformation. The gym burns, but the pain builds strength. The long nights of work exhaust you, but they carve out success. The discipline to say no to temporary pleasure creates the foundation for a future of abundance. Comfort convinces you that you can skip the hard parts and still expect greatness, but life does not work that way. Every time you choose discomfort, you are casting a vote for your future self, and every time you choose comfort, you are voting for your downfall. The truth is simple. People don't regret sweat, sacrifice, or struggle, but they always regret not trying, not pushing, not daring. Discomfort sharpens you into someone capable of carrying the weight of your dreams, while comfort softens you until you can carry nothing at all. Look around, and you'll see how comfort has become the silent epidemic of this generation. People settle for jobs that kill their spirit because it's easier than chasing purpose. They waste their nights scrolling because it's easier than building. They numb themselves with entertainment, food, or substances because it's easier than facing reality. All of this feels comfortable in the moment, but the price is enormous. A life unlived, dreams buried, and potential wasted. Choosing discomfort means walking into the storm willingly, knowing the rain will hurt, but also knowing the sun is waiting on the other side. Those who embrace discomfort experience growth, strength, and freedom, while those who avoid it become prisoners of their own weakness. Comfort is not your friend, it is the silent executioner of everything you could have been. If you want to escape the slavery of mediocrity, you must declare war on comfort. You must rewire your brain to crave the grind, to hunger for the challenge, to lean into the very things that scare you and push you. Success lives on the other side of discomfort. Freedom waits at the end of the road you're too afraid to walk. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. Every moment you push past comfort, you are building armor for your soul. Every time you endure struggle, you are setting yourself free from the invisible chains that hold most people down. Comfort is the enemy, discomfort is the path, and regret is the price for those who refuse to walk it. Everything I've told you is not theory, it's reality. You are either breaking free or you are staying enslaved. There is no middle ground. Discipline is not just about waking up early, working hard, or sticking to routines. It's about taking control of your destiny. Without it, freedom is a lie because you will always be a slave to your impulses, your laziness, and your distractions. And when you bow down to comfort, you chain yourself even tighter. Comfort is the silent enemy that lulls you to sleep while life passes you by. The truth is simple. The world doesn't owe you anything, and no one is coming to save you. You must save yourself. That means locking in, embracing discomfort, and using discipline as the master key to unlock the life you want. It means sacrificing today so that tomorrow you can live on your own terms. It means rejecting the slavery of mediocrity and fighting for the freedom of greatness. This is your time. You can choose excuses or you can choose results. You can choose comfort or you can choose growth. You can stay a prisoner or you can escape and finally live free. The decision is yours, and it will define the rest of your life. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having the courage to face the truth. May you find the strength to break your chains, the discipline to build your empire, and the courage to live free. God bless you.